Hey, this is Josie.
All right, yeah, we're gonna get started in like literally 30 seconds.
Okay, just got home from work, so I'm just I'm on my phone. I'm going to try to jump on my computer real quick.
Okay, no worries. So I'm gonna get started just because we've got a limited amount of time today. We've got the hour, but again, this one has so much content, and I have a feeling because some of you have already looked at the materials and seen, that it's a little bit more difficult than what we've been doing up until this point, that we'll have a lot of questions as well. I'm hoping we won't because that I'm hoping I can explain it well enough that you won't have questions, but I still and then I'm anticipating some questions. So obviously we're in goal setting. So now you guys are becoming opportunity makers. You've got those conversational selling skills and you have the power to grow your business even more. So now we're going to really work together to take the next steps towards achieving your dreams. And of course, by achieving your dreams, you have to start somewhere. So we start with goal setting. So I really feel like this topic is going to be instrumental in development for all of you because you've expressed on our one-on-ones and then also with those competencies that goal setting, planning, time management, onboarding, analyzing your business, all of those things were either challenging to you or inconsistent for probably, I want to say, probably 90 to 100% of you on most of them. So this is really going to help all of you be able to analyze your business and dig deeper when it comes to setting goals and being able to achieve your dreams. This honestly, and I've told most of you this before, but this is my favorite one. It's the most challenging one, but is my favorite one in conjunction with the next module, which is planning, to really, really help all of you be able to um, read your business and plan your business a little bit more, as well as we'll be looking a lot at vibe together, which I know all of you have stressed is, a little bit confusing for you. So this is going to help in a lot of ways. So this is just a little study that was done. So members of the Harvard 1979 MBA program were asked if they had written down a clear set of goals. Only 3% of them had them written down. 10 years later, the 3% that had written down their goals were earning on average 10 times more than the other 97% of the class combined. Why do you guys think this is?
They had a plan.
Mm, mm-hmm.
They stuck to their goal.
Yeah. When you write it down, it makes it real. Okay, I muted all of you guys. I think you won't be able to talk at this second. I'll unmute you in a second. But I think, Josie, I think you were on maybe two devices. It looks like I've got you twice. So you might be on your phone and on your computer. If you'll close out of one of them, I think that reverb will go away. I don't want to unmute you guys, though, until I see that go away. There you go. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. I see that you left one, so. All right, I've got you all back, so you're unmuted.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly. They
Okay.
wrote it down, right? They wrote down a plan. They have a plan. It's in place, right? So you're more apt to stick with something that you actually have written down and put a plan into place, something that you can look at every day and you can work toward, right? Not just somewhere out here in the clouds, actually writing it down. So how many of you have written down your plan and your dream? Do you guys have it written down? I know a couple of you do because we talked about dream boards together. Nobody? It's okay. You're going to write it down after today. So it's important to dream big. Avon has helped many great people achieve big dreams. And we talked about some of those people the other day, but do you guys want to shout out a couple people that have achieved big dreams with Avon?
Lisa Wilbur.
Yeah, Lisa Wilbur. Thanks, Katrina. Big one, right?
Yes.
We
I
all.
have my dream board.
You do have your dream board, Maddie E? Perfect. I love dream boards. I have one too. It's something we can do. I usually do it at the beginning of the year. I used to do it with the leadership group. So I would love to, once we're in an alumni group, have a little workshop and I bring all these like cool little things and I bring the boards and we can develop dream boards together at the beginning of the year. So I love that.
I like
So those are some examples, right, of people that have achieved the dreams and they've been able to get monetarily value, title increasements. They've done it all, right? So some dreams might take years to achieve, and we all know that, right? A long-term dream, a long-term goal. But if you go back to the A in SMART, which is attainable, you need to set attainable goals along the way. I call them incremental. You're going to hear me talk a lot about incremental progress because everybody's really hard on themselves. And if you don't hit your goal in this next 6 campaigns, it's okay. Did you incrementally increase in some way, shape, or form? Because if you did, that's a success. That means you got a little bit closer to achieving that big dream. Right? Let's move on. So the SMART framework is right here in front of you. Have you guys ever seen this, the SMART goals? Hi, Maddie E. We see you.
Hi.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try to minimize you then because I can't look at your pretty face right now because I need to see my slides.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll let me. La, 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 la. I'll just push you down here. So perfect. So we've got S is specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is relevant, and T is time bound. And I will continue to go over this with you as we go along. I'm going to give you some examples of some goals that are SMART and not SMART. So what do you guys think this is? I want to recruit more. Is it SMART or not SMART?
Smart.
No.
No.
So the reason why it's not SMART is because it's not specific, it's not measurable, it's not attainable, and it's not time bound. So you could change it by saying, I want to recruit one person each month through the end of this year. That's SMART, right? Because it's super specific. It's measurable because we can see, did we make that goal or not make that goal, right? And it's time bound. So we've hit some of those things in SMART, right? And then I want to increase my personal sales. It's a little too broad, right? So what if we said I want to increase each of my personal orders for campaign 3 and 4 by $100? That's a lot. It's a lot more of a smart goal, right? Do you guys see the difference?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have a coughing attack. A lot of times we set a goal, but we have no way to measure it. It's just like this broad thought, which is fantastic, right? We want to do that as well, but then we need to make it SMART. We need to set some different things into place for this strategy to make sure that it's specific, measurable, and time bound, okay? So we're going to continue to look at that, and I'll keep asking you as we go along, is that a SMART goal? Is that an attainable goal? Because sometimes the goals you guys write for yourself, I'm like, can you really achieve that in 6 campaigns? And you might say yes, and I'm going to be like, great, show me how. So we're going to use key measures for our goals. It will ensure that our goals are specific, measurable, relevant, which is 3 of those 5 letters, right? So personal goals that we have are going to be earnings title, earnings amount, G1 appointments, and personal sales. Does somebody want to read what we're going to look at for team goals?
New team appointments, team size, team order activity, team orders, team average order size, team sales.
Great. You guys have any questions about these two that we're going to look at? And if you guys looked at the application guide, first of all, how many of you did open up the application guide and actually look at it for this module?
Me.
Yay! Woohoo! So
Yes, I'm sitting right here.
good. So perfect. So if you've looked at it already, then you know that third and fourth page, it has all of this on here. And we're going to look into those numbers and actually plug them in. And again, I don't want you guys to get discouraged by this one. I want you to try it to the best of your ability to fill it in yourself, though, because it will only teach you to be able to look at this and compare your actuals to your goals from now on. So it's a really good exercise to start to be able to analyze your own business and plan for the future. So a couple things you're going to want to consider when setting your personal goals. The first thing is you need to consider your dream. How close do you want to get to achieving that dream? And it's important to align your goals with your dream. And another important consideration is your time, which is huge, which I've talked about with a lot of you. How much time do you plan to commit to your business? And if your goals are aggressive, but you don't have the time to dedicate them, you can't be successful. So we really need to look at, are they going to be able to be achieved within the 6 campaigns based on your time? And what I mean by that is, let's say you only have 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, which is 15 hours a week to set towards your goal. And you're saying that you're going to go from bronze ambassador to gold leader in 6 campaigns. How are you going to do that with only 15 hours a week? Is it attainable? Can you do that? Okay. Or can you increase your personal sales goal to $800 a campaign from $100 a campaign? Yeah, you can, but you might need more time than 15 hours a week, right? To do that. So personal goals are established. You can focus on team goals for the upcoming year. And we're going to really, really focus on this because obviously this is a leadership coaching and training. So we really focus on team. And you can see it's even got more activities surrounded by it that we look at. So your downline, your team, right, has a significant impact on your personal results, don't they? Huge. So do you guys have an example of how your team has impacted your personal results? And it says in a negative or positive. Let's just focus on a positive way. How has your team affected your personal results in a positive way? Nobody's? What if your team increased and your sales increased, your team sales increased, and more of your team, your order activity percentage, more of your team was placing orders on a consistent basis? Would that not make your check go up?
Yes.
So that's a positive impact, right? Would it maybe make your title go up? Would it maybe make you get closer or help you achieve your dream?
Of
Yes.
course.
So that's huge. This is the impact that your team is going to have on your personal success. So that's why we're spending so much time on this piece. So once you set those personal and team goals, we're going to ask you to set specific goals for key performance indicators for the next 6 campaigns, 3 months or a quarter, however you guys want to look at it. I mean, we go by campaigns usually in Avon. Some people say quarter, some people say 3 months, whatever, it's all the same, right? So why do you think it's important to be specific with these goals?
because when you're specific with a goal, you have more likely that you're going to work for it. If you just say something vague, oh, I want to be goal leader by RepFest,
Mm-hmm.
but then you don't have a specific, okay, each month in order to do that, I have to do step by step by step. Then you'd be like, oh, okay, well, if I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. You're kind of not really as focused if you don't have it step by step set out how you want to do it.
Exactly. Exactly. So going back to that incremental progress, you still want to have that big goal, right, of gold leader by RepFest. But to Josie's point, if you don't have week by week, day by day, activity by activity, right, set an incremental progress to track it, then how are you ever going to get there if you're not putting those strategies into place and putting them on a calendar and holding yourself accountable to getting there, to get that incremental progress, to make those short-term goals in order to get to those long-term goals. Make sense? Any questions so far? Are we good? Yay. So once you set your goals, it's important to reflect on them and ask yourself these questions. And your application guide asks you these questions, and you literally can just write yes. You might go back. So are they obtainable? Can you stretch your goals even further? And really ask yourself that one. Because I will tell you, some people made their goals really, 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 really difficult and not attainable. And then other people, I was like, well, you're not really incrementally increasing at all. You're literally staying the same for the next 6 campaigns. So is there some area we can push yourself a little bit and challenge yourself? Do your short-term specific goals align with your personal and team goals? Will you make enough incremental progress in the next 6 campaigns to achieve your personal and team goals? Guess what's great about goals? You can adjust them. So it's okay if you need to go back in. Say you get 3 campaigns in and you're like, wow, I made my goals way too easy. So up them for the next 3 campaigns. Challenge yourself and see what happens. Or it could go the opposite way. I don't want you to ever feel discouraged by your goals, right? So maybe you felt like, oh, I could do this, but you're going back and you're like, all right, I said I'm going to get 17 team appointments every single campaign for the next 6 campaigns, and I'm only getting 4. Maybe you want to stretch yourself to 6 instead of 17, right? Does everybody see that where we can go back and we can change our goals? We always can adjust them and adapt them. So once they're set, it's important to think about how you're going to achieve them. So does anybody know what a strategy is?
A game plan.
Yeah, I call it like brainstorming, right? It's kind of like we're brainstorming. So this is the actual definition. It's a high level set of activities, not a detailed set of activities. So it's got some questions here that it really wants you to start processing. Again, this is on your application guide, which we're going to get into and spend most of our time on today. So all of these questions are on there. And I'm not saying necessarily that you have to go through each and every one and answer it, but you want to pick out, especially the ones for you that you think are going to have the biggest impact on your business, and then talk about what you're going to do in order to, just for example, for this one under team goals, how will you help your team increase total orders? I'm going to send out order reminders. Because once we have those strategies in place, when we go into planning, then we're going to start getting them more onto a actual detailed schedule and plan. But right now, it's a brainstorm of some things you want to do to ignite that business. Any questions? Just remember that this is a big thing that everybody got from the last session was, as they were going through this, they started to remember things that they used to do and activities that they used to put into place. And a lot of them had higher team sales maybe like 2 years ago, and they had they were at a higher leadership level than they are now. And guess what happened? When they started to do those things again, they got right back to where they used to be within those 3 months, within those 6 campaigns. And it's really amazing if you start to put those things back into place, what can happen. But just remember, doing the same thing will yield the same results. If your goals are different than past results, you're going to need to do something different. So you want to have a good mix, right? You want to have a good mix of things that work that you've done in the past that you want to re-engage with. And then you want to have a good mix of new activities, right? New strategies, new activities that you want to try in order to drive results. Make sense to everyone so far? Okay, we're doing really good on time, so I'm really proud of us. Now we're going to go into the application guide, and I'm going to go super slow, and I'm going to show you a whole lot of tools as we go through it. I have to do some juggling back and forth from screen to screen and things like that, so just kind of bear with me because it might take a minute to pull something up so that you guys can see it. And maybe just this won't work at all. No, I'm just kidding. Here it goes. So here's the application guide. Now, what I want to just remind you really quick before we get into this is I know a lot of you have had a really hard time pulling this up and being able to save it. You have to make sure you have Adobe Acrobat Reader. You can download Adobe Acrobat Reader for free at www.adobe.com. You don't just type it into Google and try to find it. You have to go to www.adobe.com and download the latest format of Adobe Acrobat Reader. Okay.
Well, I just printed mine off for now until I can figure out how to do that.
And that's fine too. And I encourage you, if you have a printer, mine always runs out of ink. So unfortunately, mine doesn't even print right now. So I pretty much do everything on the computer. But if you have a printer, it's a good idea anyway to print this out before we have this call and have it in front of you. It's also nice to be able to jot down notes on there if you print it out. If you don't have a printer, it's fine. No worries. Pull it up on your computer and just be able to look at it as we go through it together. I'm going to go through it now section by section in order to make sure everybody understands exactly how to do this, okay? So now I gotta minimize the presentation. You guys should still be able to see it. You see the application guide? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to actually pull up the actual application guide. So this is the 4th page because I was working on it. So this is the first page, and I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to show you a couple different tools you're going to utilize in order to get you through this, okay? So you've got your dream, and you guys can be filling this out as we go through these calls, okay? You're not going to be able to fill out all your numbers while we're on the call, but you can be jotting down notes. You can definitely be filling out this first page and the 4th page as we go, though. So this is your big dream. I'm going to give you an example, and I made myself laugh because I run through this every time before our call. And I said, I want a Mercedes Model C500. And I was like, I don't even know if that's a model of a car. But anyway, that would be like your big goal. I want to send my son to college and not have to have him have any financial aid. Those are all big goals, right? We're talking long term. Remember, some goals can take years to accomplish, right? So it could be my date is 12 years from now. Now, what I'll tell you is most people are setting this goal at like a year. So a lot of people will put like end of 2018, campaign 26 of 2018. You guys could do campaign 26 of 2019. It's usually something you're working toward within the next couple years, saving $10,000 by the end of campaign 26, 2019, something like that. Everybody got that part, right? In order to achieve my dreams, I need to make how much money? So if I want that car, that Mercedes model, I made up the name. I need, on top of what I'm already getting, and that's fine, like I'm good, I need an additional $300 per campaign. So $600 a month in order to make my car payment that I want, or in order to put a down payment on my car. Okay. It might not be to get the car in full. Like I'm not going to go buy a $75,000 car. I just need a little bit extra in order to put toward it. With a title of, and again, I said the end of C18. I'm right now, let's say I'm Gold Ambassador. My title, I would like to be by that time, Gold Leader. So I have a whole entire year, right? Does everybody get it so far? Are you guys asleep?
I'm still here.
Do you guys want some coffee?
Sundrop.
You want some Sundrop? Okay, I'm going to give you some through the computer. Everybody wake up! I know it's Monday. It's hard, right? It's Monday. I see Mada E. Hi, Mada E. I put you back up so I could see you. So then we're going to go to your personal goals for the next 3 months. So what did you earn in the last 3 months? Do any of you guys know, like off the top of your head, what you earned in the last 3 months? You don't have to say it out loud. Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Very little.
I thought it would
Money,
be.
no.
I thought it would be a no. So everybody knows off the top of their head, like, okay, I earned $300 in the last 3 months, or I earned, I don't know. Some people it might be like $3,000 in the last 3 months.
What if I'm in the minus?
Over.
You're a negative. Wow, that's well, the numbers aren't going to show you at a negative. I can guarantee that. I've never ever seen that happen. So, and then
What if we can say very little?
nope, you're going to actually put a monetary value down, and I'm going to help you show you how to do that. Because there is somewhere, it may be a 0, but it's something. It's either 0, it could be $4, but it's something. I guarantee it. And then what's your current title? So all of you that are in the program have to be Bronze Ambassador or above. So you're either Bronze Ambassador or above. Everybody knows their title, right? I don't need to tell you like where to go to find this kind of stuff, I hope.
No.
Okay, good.
Do you want our actual title or our performing title?
I don't care what you put, just make sure you notate it for me as we speak.
Okay.
So you could say, okay, Jess, it says I'm bronze. You can even write it. You can say I'm Silver Ambassador performing at Bronze.
Okay.
I'm Silver Ambassador performing at Star Promoter. It could be whatever. I know because before we have our one-on-ones, I pull you guys up and I look at everything with a detailed.
So you know if we are lying.
What?
So you know if we are lying.
I do know if you're lying, but why would you lie to me? You don't need to. So we know that. So what are your personal goals for the next 3 months? So again, remember, you had your big goal at the top, right? So this is where do you want to be in the 3 months? Your title might be the same. Your earnings might not be much more if you're keeping your title the same. Because you have to think, remember that attainable, that word attainable. Are you going to be able to jump a title in the next 3 months? What if you need to do an additional $10,000 in team sales to jump that title? Are you going to be able to do that in 3 months? Some people will say yes because they have the time to get there. Some people will be like, oh my gosh, no, it's going to take me a year. That's okay. We just need to figure that out and then put steps into place to get there. So, and then what are your total earnings? What I'm hoping all of you are going to do is at least put a little bit more in the earnings, because you're at least, I'm hoping you're at least wanting to gain some new people and change your activity percentage and change your team sales at least a little bit for the better. But again, the title might not change, because you have to be realistic. You have to make these attainable based on the time you have set aside. Do we get this?
Yes.
Yeah. So then it's just going to ask you some questions. So reflect on your past results. We just talked about this. So reflecting on your past results, transfer your results from the last 6 campaigns to the chart on the next page. I'm not going to jump to it yet because I have to show you something in order to get those numbers. The glossary of key measures to understand the meaning of each measure. Does everybody have the glossary?
Mhm.
Here it is. And I will flip back and forth to it as we go into the next couple pages. Let me find, where was I? Okay, so we're back here. And then down here in the notes section, think about these things. What drove your results? Can you repeat them? Everything we just talked about. How I said a lot of people went back, right, in the last coaching class, and they went back and they started to do things that they used to do that yielded results. Guess what? They were above where they were before. They were back on track. They were exceeding their expectations. I mean, things happened after this module, guys, that I can't even explain to you. Like, huge things happened in those 8 people who were in the last coaching class to their business. Some of them had small incremental success. Some of them jumped titles. Some people had people on their team jump titles. Some had team sales go up. Some had team activity go up. Some had order size go up. There was something in every single person. Okay? So that's what we're going to see with you, but you really have got to focus on all of that, on all of those strategies and all of those activities. So what can you do better? Where do you need to shift your focus? Where are your results trending right now? And why is that? That's a huge one. So you want to jot all this stuff down. And then we come to the numbers. Who got scared when they looked at this page? Is everybody a
I
little
was,
nervous?
I was throwing in the towel.
Everybody was a little nervous, huh? Well, I am excited to say, as long as it comes out for real, that tomorrow they are saying on your Vibe, I'm going to find it for you. I've got an example of it down here somewhere. On Vibe, this calculator will be coming out to you. It should be under reports, and then it's called Leadership Planning Calculator. It should be updated through C22. So you'll have everything you need from campaign 7 to campaign 22 to fill in all those results
I know that chart.
on here. Do you already have that chart? Because we couldn't find it in Vibe today. Nobody, me or my colleagues, could not find it.
I have him from Rwanda because she's the one I think suggests that chart to Avon.
Right.
So,
Because everybody that has gone through goal setting in the past has struggled with it immensely. And it's not that it's hard to find these numbers, it's that you have to pull several different reports to find these numbers. So if everything was tallied for you, it would help. Not only that, you should be, I'm going to pull it up again, you should be able to then go into, let's say, campaign 24 and type in your goals from page 3 of the application guide and be able to manipulate this form. Okay. I don't want you guys to get nervous from this form because literally everything that you need for campaign 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and hopefully by tomorrow, 22, all you have to do now, I have to pull up, I told you I have to do a lot of back and forth, is put it in here. So campaign 17. You want me to do one for you so you can see it? Earnings amount. 888. Does everybody see this where I'm getting it from? I'm trying. Can you see my little plus sign? 888. See the earnings? So then I'll go back. I'll type it in. 888. Earnings title. I'm on 2 different screens, so I'm so sorry. I have to go back and forth a million times. Earnings title. You guys see it on here? For campaign, would I say 17?
Title at the bottom.
Gold leader. So I think it goes by your achievement title. Let's see what it said. Or did it say earnings title? Oh, earnings title. So what was it? It was silver leader, right? I abbreviate everything too. G1 new appointments. Are you guys getting this now? Are you seeing that literally I'm just copying pasting? Like I'm not having to pull anything because it's all right here in front of me. G1 reinstatements. Team new addition, G1 new appointments. Here it is. 16, right? Woo! We did good in campaign 17. Are you guys getting it so far?
Is it going to be under static reports or?
It didn't say that it was static, but it did say, I can pull up the email for you guys really quick because I think it is static reports. Madae, you haven't been able to see it, right, though? Did Rhonda just send you this little
Yes.
one to show you the example? Okay.
I'm in Vibe right now and I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it. Here's how it tells you I'm going to read you the directions in order how to pull it up. And I will tell you I did it this morning and I actually went under, I went under Madae first and then I went under Katrina. I was under you and I went to, it just says program reports, which would be the static reports because the other thing is just, the other tab is just reports. So program reports, scroll down to save the leadership planning calculator. It's not there. They told us that it won't be until tomorrow. So let's just hope it's there tomorrow. I will keep you updated. As soon as I see it, you guys are going to know it's there. Because I'm going to put it on Facebook. I'm going to email it out. I'm going to be like, it's there, it's there, it's there. So I'm not gonna continue with this because you guys see you just literally put in the campaign, you do the team measure or the personal measures and then the team measures. Okay. This is just, again, looking at what that report says as long as that report comes out. If it doesn't, there's another way I can teach you how to look at everything. You have to go under history or you have to go under campaign comparison. You have to pull each campaign. So there's ways to do it, but this, to Rhonda's point, I mean, this will make it so much easier for everybody. And ultimately, it should update after each campaign update, and you should be able to go back in and see whether your goals were met. Does it make sense? Do you guys have questions on where to find it as long as the report comes up?
It's just sort of similar to what we used to do with the district manager, looking at the reports and comparing, right?
Yeah, when we used to do like a 90-day plan.
Right.
Yeah. How many of you guys have done a 90-day plan? Yeah, nobody. I mean, I did 90-day plans with top leaders all the time, but since, I'm sure you guys, it's been a while. This is to teach you not only for your benefit to start doing your own 90-day plans again, but also to help your team and be able to do them in a little bit of a different way. And I think an easier way than writing out all those pages of 90-day plans that we used to do. So this is a nice, just like quick chart. So second page is last 6 campaigns, right? You're going to look at all of that, and you're then going to create your goals and strategies for the next 6 campaigns. So campaign 24, earnings amount. Again, remember, I can't stress this enough to you guys. Remember incremental increases as you go. Let's say right here, we increased at campaign 23 to 950.
Mhm.
Are we going to then make our goal $3,000?
No.
No, we're going to incrementally increase. So let's just say something. And again, this is a wishful thinking that we're trying to get there by doing the things that we're going to set into place. Okay. So let's just say 980. You increased by $30. Woohoo! Your earnings title is hopefully by now you're back up to gold leader, right? Because if you guys remember, this person in the example was gold leader but earning at silver leader. Do we remember that?
Yeah.
So we're back up to gold. We've challenged ourselves, and this is just whatever you want to look at your trend. So whatever you've been trending up here in G1 appointments, try to challenge yourself, increase it by 2. So let's say they were trending 0 G1 new appointments, which you would never be doing as a gold leader, but let's just say that. They challenge themselves now to 2 new G1 appointments. That means they're getting 2 appointments per campaign and their personal sales of $500. Okay. And you would continue to do this for campaign 25. Got it? Incremental increases. Where I really want to spend our time today is the team measures. Does anybody know how I got this number? Have you guys ever done this before?
Mm-mm.
So let's
Nope.
say team new appointments. So team new appointments, if we look at our glossary, means G1 through G3 appointments for you and your team members. Okay, so it's you included. See what happens when I get off of there, though. You and your team members. So you said 2, and then you're holding your team accountable to 2 more. I just made up this number. Your team size is 32. Again, you want to look at your trend. Say your team size was, I turned my email back on, so things are coming up. Say your team size was 9. Are you going to go from 9 to 32? Oh, and I put 17 here. I meant 24. Are you going to go from campaign 23 from 9 team members to campaign 24 to 32? No.
Mm-mm.
Think about your team new appointments. You had 4 new recruits. Your team size was 9. That put you at 13. So this person's probably at 28, right? They had their 4 new appointments. They're now at 32. Now you can look at this a couple of ways. Here's where the math comes in. If you want to start with percentage, let's say your team order activity percent is 58 and you want to take it to 65. With 32 members on your team, in order to get the rest of these numbers, you would have to take 32 times whatever the activity percentage is, so 0.65. That's how I came up with 21 team orders. You guys can look at any one of these, whether it be order activity, team order, or average order size, and you can manipulate it based on the average from the previous 6 campaigns. Then you have to do a little math in order to get the other 2 numbers. Does it make sense? So then if you had 21 people ordering on your team and you wanted their average order size, say your average order size was 165, you wanted to raise it by $10 to 175. If you multiply that, it comes out to 3675 plus your personal sales goal of 500, which will bring you to the 4175. Did I lose everybody completely when I did that?
Mm.
Do you
No.
get it?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This page 3, is where when we sit down together, whether it be face to face or over the phone, I may run the math and I may say, how'd you come up with that? Do you think that's attainable? Do you think you can challenge yourself a little bit more? I want you guys to be prepared for those kind of questions when we come to this page. I want you to really try to fill it out on your own if you can. It shouldn't take you that long once you get page 2 filled in. Okay?
Mhm.
Are we good?
Yes.
This exercise is gonna take you a little bit longer than all of the other ones have. This one and planning are gonna be the ones that you probably need to set the most time aside for. Okay? And that's okay. This is where we're really getting down to the nitty gritty. We're breaking down your business big time, and it may be things that you've never done before. You might have never looked at your business this way before. So we just want to make sure you understand it. And if you don't, we'll talk it through. But again, try to fill this application guide out to the best of your ability before our one-on-ones. And try to get it back to me the day before. Now, I have a few of you that I'm going to see in the next 2 days. Don't worry about sending it to me if you can't, but just try to fill it out. And then we'll look at it together. I think I have 3 of you that I'm meeting in the next 2 days. So just try your best to fill it out. If you can send it to me, great. If not, we'll look at it together. And then the last page is what we already talked about, asking yourself if they're aggressive enough. Are they attainable? Those SMART goals, you're kind of asking yourself those questions that pertain to the SMART goal setting. Does it put you on track again incrementally for achieving your long-term goals? And you're going to want to write that stuff in the notes. And then defining your strategies. How are you going to achieve these goals? So a couple examples of strategies are going to be make 5 contacts a day, 5 days a week. Plan and execute an Avon opportunity meeting. Now just be prepared that as we go into planning after this, I'm then going to look at this and I'm going to say, great, you said you're going to plan and execute an Avon opportunity meeting. When is that on your calendar? That's what planning gets into, really setting it in stone and getting into it, okay? And then personal goals, again, we talked about this earlier. So picking maybe 2 or 3 of those out. It could be everything, depending on how much time you put into Avon, but picking out 2 or 3 of those things, or, in each category, personal goal and team goal, and really coming up with some strategies that which one of these is going to affect your business the most. What are some strategies you're going to do in order to increase your personal sales, or increase average order size, or help team members place more orders, or identify potential new representatives? So recruiting, prospecting, things like that. Got it?
Yes.
And then the call to action is in the next 2 weeks, which really, you guys basically have a free week because that week of Thanksgiving, remember, we're not meeting. So you have that week too to practice and make progress to your goals by having SMART goals. So 2 things you're going to do in those 3 weeks to make progress toward your goals. So just keep in mind the SMART. So the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Ask yourself those questions when you're setting these strategies into place and these activities, okay? Anybody, before we get off the application guide, and I'm just scrolling up, I just want to make sure nobody has any questions when it comes to this application guide. Don't be scared. I promise it's not scary. Once you start to do it, you're gonna feel like, oh, this is really easy. Oh, I can do this. You might have questions. Text me over a quick question and I might give you a call and be like, where are you at? Are you on personal measures? Here, I'll help you. Are you on team measures? Let me help you. Let's take it for campaign 25 and let's see. I'm going to ask you questions though, like, okay, what were your team measure averages for your last 6 campaigns before we start to plan campaign 24 and 25? Okay? We're good?
Yeah.
All right, let me get out of here. Good. You guys can do this. I know you can. I know you can do it. It's my favorite one. It really is. I hope you guys aren't feeling intimidated by it, because if truly this worksheet comes into play, I'm telling you, you guys have it easier than anybody else ever has, because it was so confusing last time. Like, so confusing. So this is not, it's not bad. Again, please communicate to me if you have questions. Don't wait until we're getting ready to have our one-on-one 5 minutes before and I'm like, where's the application guide? And you're like, I didn't do it. Just communicate to me like 2 days before, the day before, the night before. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Help. At least I know, right? At least I understand where you're coming from and why it's not completed. Otherwise, I just think that you guys just aren't doing it. That you're like, oh, I don't really care. Whatever. And again, remember, this program's for you. It is free to you. It costs a lot of money for everybody else to take these kind of coaching programs, and it's free to you to utilize in order to grow your business. So again, you get out of it what you put into it. So our hot topic question for next Friday's collaboration call, remember, it's not this Friday, it's next Friday. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? And remember, I will send it to you. Usually I send out the invitation on Wednesday before the collaboration. And I will remind you in that email for the invitation what the hot topic question is. Is everybody good with how I do that?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So you'll continue to get it that way. And then just remember here, as you work through this guide, you want to set your goals high enough, right, to inspire you and make them attainable enough to encourage you. Believe in yourself and what you're capable of, because you're all capable of so much. Just remember what your dreams are and your goals are. We're going to, again, get more tactical when we get into planning. And how you're going to achieve these goals in the next module. And what I mean by more tactical is just exactly what I said. What activities do you have on your calendar? How much time are you devoting to Avon? Really looking at and identifying who on your team we're also developing, and then putting them on your calendar. That's why we're doing goal setting, in order to get you prepared for the next steps of really setting up your calendars and your activities and your actions. So go out there and set your goals. You guys can do it. Any other questions before we get off?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you guys got this. Call me if you have any questions, okay? I'm here for you.
Okay.
All right, I'll talk to
Thank
all of you
you.
guys, and I'll see a lot of you in the next few days.
Okay.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.